Pledge of Allegiance and the land acknowledgement statement.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Salamanca City Central School District acknowledges the homeland of the Anandawatka, the people of the Great Hill, the Seneca people on whose ancestral and modern day land Salamanca School District now stands and whose water we enjoy. We stand with all Indigenous peoples in their resolve to remain connected to their land. While we cannot undo what has been done, it is a goal of the Salamanca City Central School District to recognize the history and make improvements that will benefit the next 7 generations of Indigenous students. Thank you.
All right, Carrie John, Vice President of the Board, filling in for President Teresa Ray, who cannot be here this evening. So right now, we're going to look at the approval of the agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Yes, since it was published on Friday, we have 4 changes. We added a award contract for the capital project phase 3.5. We accepted a bid of the food truck for the mobile learning lab. We also added the estate of Donald Brochet resolution, and there are added budget transfers as well.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Okay, second.
Sounded like Dale, motion by Dale, second by Brad. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstained? All right, motion carries. So we are gonna jump right on to item number 4, recognitions and presentations. And we have a presentation, Hazard Young Atia Associates Strategic Plan.
All right, I'm going to introduce Monica and Karen, who have started progress, and the board worked with them just a short time ago on the district's 5-year strategic plan. Thanks, I had to figure out what we were going to do.
Thank you, and thank you,
Yeah.
Dr. Bueller. First of all, Karen and I, would like to thank Janet Coe and Dr. Bueller for showing us such great hospitality. And we are really excited to be working with the board and with the community over the next few days for the strategic plan. We talk about our plans as empowering impact and shaping the future through planning. If we know where we're going, then we can all try to get there. So we are going to do our best to help facilitate a wonderful strategic planning process. So what we did before the meeting today was we interviewed the board, and thank you to all board members. We really appreciate your willingness to share with us all your thoughts about the district. And we also did, they gave us some input on the process so far. So we'll be recounting that a little bit today. So the way we think of strategic planning is there's all these different interests in a district, and they can all come together in an inclusive, forward-thinking plan. And that's what we hope to bring to the district, that unity of purpose so that we have a shared direction. We believe effective strategic planning help to create a shared vision, shared purpose, agreed upon priorities and goals, and then how to get there, what those strategic strategies and measures can be. And that's really when everybody's moving in the same direction, we do see impact. So my name is Monica Brown. I've been with the HYA for 7 years. I retired from superintendency in Northern New Jersey back in 2017. And I've been working with the HYA ever since. I'm also on staff at the University of Delaware, where I work in graduate college. So it's a pleasure to be up in this part of the world. It's a beautiful part of New York State. Glad to be here.
So thank you all for having us. We've already had a wonderful time meeting with the board and meeting with some administrators over the phone, and it's just wonderful to be here. I am a former Board of Education member and board president in New Jersey, and I really believe strongly in public education. And after I decided to retire from the board, I always say, because I was president during the pandemic and our district, it was a difficult time, as everyone knows, but we actually used HYA for both our strategic planning and our superintendent search, and I had such a great experience. I wanted to continue helping boards of education and helping school districts find their next best leader, find their strategic vision, and really put plans into the future. As Monica said, it really helps everyone growing in the same direction. And sometimes some of the great things about coming out of a strategic plan is you could say no to things that you could say, this is a great project, but you know what, that's not in our strategic plan, so I don't think we're going to touch this right now. And it kind of gets rid of some of the noise sometimes. So I love this work. I love working with Monica. Monica and I work really well together. It's been great. Dr. Bueller and Janet have been really helpful. So we're so happy to be here. Actually went to school in Binghamton, so I know a little bit about this area, not this far up though.
And as kind of Karen alluded to, we recruited her right after she was off the board to work with us. Lori Kimbrell, she is our lead for all strategic plans for HYA. So we'd like to make sure the board knows who she is too, in case you have any questions.
So as we said, we really are looking forward to helping you build a plan that will inputs in student outcomes. And it really makes a difference when everybody is rowing in the same direction and everyone is looking towards the future and really the future of the students. And that is where you see student outcomes being achieved. The research is clear, as we said, student growth. You have focused curriculum, effective instruction, and a culture for learning, including effective operations. And all three of those things really come out to student growth. So a little bit about our 4-phase process that HYA uses. So phase 1 is organizational readiness. We've already been through that phase. We are ready. Your district is ready and wanting to go through the process, which is always a huge step, just taking that first jump. Phase 2 is the inclusive engagement process. So that's why we're really here, is really to get to know your community and really understand. It's so important for us being in the community physically, talking to as many people as we can to really understand what the community is like so we can help facilitate the process. Phase 3 is when we really get down to looking at the data with a smaller strategic focus group. And that's when we review your mission, your vision, and then come up with some large objectives for the future. And then phase 4 is just the implementation phase of this all.
And that will happen here.
Yes, and that will happen here. So phase 1, as I mentioned, this is the organizational readiness, the introductory meeting we had with your superintendent, the school board update, which we just gave. We have a communications toolkit, which really helps with all of your communications. We shared that with Janet and your admin team. So that helps with, we have templates and everything to send out invitations. And if you want to do any PR work regarding those strategic planning, because you really want your whole community to know that you're undergoing this process. Hopefully they'll be involved at some point, but you just want that message out there that the community knows. Finalizing the timeline, which is what we're doing tonight, as well as the engagement plan is what we're here to engage the community with.
So I'm sorry for people in the back who might not be able to see this, but this is the engagement timeline that we went over with the board prior to the meeting. April 8th is highlighted because that's today, and we were here to work with the board prior to meeting with you all to get their input on the timeline. Looks like we're moving forward as planned. So tomorrow and Thursday, we'll be doing focus groups. We hope many of you are involved in focus groups, so we get to meet you in person. We ask all the focus groups the same questions, and then we do a qualitative data exercise by pulling all of the answers to each of the questions and finding the themes within those answers. We then present those themes to the steering committee, and we'll be doing that on May 19th and 20th, and that's when the strategic goals are decided upon, the vision, the mission, and then hopefully to get approved by the board so that you all can move forward together. So that will be on May 19th and 20th. Another date I want to make sure you're aware of is April 25th. That's the day the survey closes. There is a survey that even if you can't come to a focus group meeting, everybody in your community can participate in a virtual in a survey, online survey, and that is most likely already on your website. Janet is giving me the yes, so it's already there, but it also probably went out in the invitations to the different focus groups too. So that'll be open until April 25th. So if you know people who maybe wanted to come to a focus group but couldn't, please encourage them to take our survey and so that their voices can be heard throughout the process. So we're actually at the end of phase one tonight, starting into phase two, because we finished all of the interviews. We're gonna start the focus groups tomorrow. The survey, we will, and we have to thank the assistant superintendents here too. They've given us a lot of data already. We'll combine that with the data we collect from the survey, from the focus groups, and from the interviews. We'll present that all back to the strategic plan steering committee, which should include a diversity of thought from all these different groups and probably more that we're going to be meeting with. And it's on phase three that we really start to, once all that data is collected, we spend half a day working with the committee just to review the data, so that they have a great mindset of how the community and all the different groups are feeling before they start to set the goals for the next 5 years. So we'll do a data workshop. Oh, we went ahead. Oh, yeah, one more. Sorry, phase three. One more. Sorry, I wasn't nodding fast enough. Not her fault. I was going on mine. So we'll be doing the data workshop. And we'll also provide the board with some update at that point too, so they know what's happening. And the deliverables from that phase will be the actual plan for the strategic, the actual wording for the strategic plan, portrait of a graduate, which means the vision. What do we see as all graduates have, the mission, the core values, the priorities and objectives. So that'll be phase three. And then once the board approves has some time to digest the plan and then approves that, then Dr. Bueller and his team will move forward with the implementation. Keep going. One more slide. So just to kind of show the parts of the process, the strategic plan steering committee will be working on the shared vision, the mission and core values, the priorities and objectives. Then the board comes in and may make some adjustments, but will then hopefully approve. Then it becomes the board steps back and the team, the administrative team and the teachers and even the students are working together to achieve with some oversight on the boards. So what we're doing along the way, we're meeting with your administrative team bi-weekly. We make sure that we're continuing to move forward on the process. We do some post-plan check-ins, so we can help once we get to know you, sometimes we can help you as you're trying to make adjustments along the way. We do that. And we very much appreciate the board input. Thank you. That's it. So they've already given us the input on the plan from before, so I think we are done. Any questions from board members?
Anybody have any questions? No, I don't.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you.
Yeah, you're all set. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
You've had a long day with your journey from Delaware already, so.
Yes.
All right. Okay, let's move on. Item number 5, communications, public communications and Title VI Parent Advisory Committee.
We did get a communication from Mr. Miller that he was unable to make tonight, but will be at the 22nd meeting where he will have an update.
Awesome. Okay.
No problem.
All right, well, let's move on to the central office.
That me? Okay. I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet tonight. Thank you very much. I just want to thank everybody for their hard work and spring is approaching, even though it doesn't feel like it today, but we just keep pushing through. I wish everyone a safe spring break, so we come back ready to push through the fourth quarter, started today, so. Final push.
All right, awesome. Oh, who do we have in the audience tonight? Oh, Kim, you want to share a little with us?
Sure. So we, just to kind of, what Nikki was just saying, we are getting ready for spring break, but still working hard up to that point. Our kiddos are anxious for, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but we are getting new swings over break. So just a couple of swings, but it'll be added onto our 2 to 5-year-old playground because they don't have access to swings right now. So They couldn't enjoy the playground today, but they are excited for after break. They will have some new swings out there. In the meantime, our third graders, we are still paper-based for New York State testing, but they are getting prepared for testing. Because when we come back to break, we will get into that. Wrapping up Q3, getting ready for Q4, and yeah, lots of good stuff. It's a busy building, but we'll have another reading challenge over the break. And
Okay. Remind me again, when does the quarter end?
what's that?
It was last week, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Last Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we are in Q4.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Mr. Bartolzik, what do you got for us?
So the start of spring sports is always a busy time around here. Thank you to maintenance, custodial, security, and our coaches for getting us rolling. Especially with weather and opening up of vets and our other facilities, utilizing multiple schools. This is always a busy time, fairly chaotic, but it's been rather smooth, other than today when we had to postpone a bunch of games for weather that was supposed to be much worse, so apologize. It looks nice out there. Still cold and windy. We made the decision yesterday, but we have a couple dates coming up. The track, the first official track home event is scheduled for April 28th. We'd like to do a ribbon cutting on that day, 3:30, just to kind of christen the place. We won't have everything 100%. It's just still trying to work on the landing area for discus, but that's going to be due to Mother Nature, I believe. And then our first softball game on April 30th. So that's exciting. I get to see it out my window every day, and it's just a busy time. And our athletes and our coaches and our community are anxious to get out there. So it's really coming together. And just wish everyone a good spring break and enjoy the time.
Awesome. All right, well, we got both of our teammates here from Seneca Intermediate. Who wants to start?
So I would like to tell you about our CEO celebration that we're having on Thursday. We will have over 50 families invited to come celebrate their students and their positive reward system that we have. At 1 o'clock, all the families come in and teachers have identified students and written little blurbs about them. So we will have them read aloud to the whole audience and celebrate all of the great accomplishments that our students have been achieving. Another thing that I've been having fun doing are making positive phone calls home for students essentially caught being good and following our chance expectations. So the families have been very thrilled to receive some of those shout outs for their students and just some very positive things that we are going on.
Awesome. Eric?
Okay, so the start of the Q4, it's hard to believe that we are here already. So this is kind of an interesting time of year because you're living in two worlds. You're still trying to navigate day to day, but then also planning and preparing, master scheduling, all of those things for the next school year. I'd like to congratulate our two line teams that just recently place the great accomplishment for our Seneca Intermediate teams and also the high school team that's moving on to Worlds. I'd like to thank the student government team for their Earth Day celebration that they put on this past Friday, and our guest appearance of the Lorax. Thanks to read to our students. And let's see. Just like Ms. Oak said, we're also gearing up for state testing. So Seneca Intermediate students and all grades 4 to 7 will be doing computer-based testing this year. So we're moving away from the paper-based, and we will begin that on April 29th, that Tuesday, after we come back from spring break. So lots of stuff happening.
All right, can you go back to the Lorax? That's one of mine and Lainey's favorites, so.
Yes. We'll come forward and say another thing.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Yes.
So really cute. The kids came out and were able to listen to the Lorax read a story.
Yeah,
So they had a lot of fun.
okay, that's awesome. All right, Mr. Cruz,
Good evening.
good evening.
Yeah. At the high school, we've been focused on performing staff observations and evaluations. And using that as an opportunity to have conversations regarding what we do and how we do it and where we're planning on moving forward with some things in the future. Also, before COVID, the high school did have instituted a school improvement team. We are having discussions with our staff to implement a building shared decision making team. The endeavor is a means of a bottoms-up communication. And we would like to have teachers, teacher assistants, safety, maintenance, cafeteria, most of the stakeholders in the building being part of this team. And we hope that we can develop an umbrella to establish subcommittees. It'll take some things off of the administrators' plate and put it in the hands of those that are hitting the ground running, where the rubber meets the road. And then they bring us the communication and start developing and making some serious changes. Establishing my thoughts. Saturday Impact is underway for students who are at risk. The teachers are making phone calls every Wednesday, inviting the students to come in on Saturdays and just advising families. And we've had some success with that.
Is that it?
That's it.
So when did you start the Saturdays?
Approximately 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago?
Yes, sir.
And we're getting students?
We had about 30-something students.
Oh, that's awesome. All right.
And we started out with seniors, but now we have included all of our grade levels. So
Okay. Awesome. All right. Is that it from the high school?
Yes.
Okay.
short and sweet.
Jerry, what do you got for us?
Sir, so we are, as we always are, planning for the future, right, with special education. Working on finalizing our last 2 meetings for the year, well, 2 meetings, we still have to go through end of May. We have several meetings to go through, and look at program and planning for the kids for next year. We also are engaged in a lot of data collection and reporting. As you know, this time of year, we're always reporting things back to the state, going through different audits and such. But I do want to give one positive and shout out to our related service providers. That's our speech therapists, our occupational therapists, physical therapists. There's this thing called random moment in time study that requires that snapshots at any point of the day. That they'll get an email saying, what are you doing, who are you working with, how are you doing it, so on and so forth. This is my 5th year in this role, and we are still at 100% compliance every time the state sends an email to our staff. So that's something that I got emailed weekly. Our staff does a great job with that, meeting the compliance. So yeah, just want to give a shout out to the folks about that. But yeah, we're still plugging away, getting our programming in place for next year for the kids, developing summer programming as well. So yeah, we're still full speed ahead.
All right, awesome. Marcy, what do you got for us?
Right now, we're working on updating the majority of our all-Dell laptops and workstations around the district. Heavy emphasis on scheduling out our summer so that we have people here and we know where everybody is and what we're doing throughout the entire campus. We're prepping for computer-based testing, making sure that we have equipment ready for kids. Just trade in and out. It works really well. We've done it a couple of times now. Updating the process for requesting technology help along with managing our assets. We've got 3 techs in training right now, learning all about the door systems so that we can manage those. We don't have to reach out to another company and come in and fix doors when something comes up. We've got a couple of guys that are working with the construction crew, setting up all the tech out on the fields right now. So they've been busy.
Right, awesome.
Yeah. So,
Rich?
We're in Chance at Best Park, the water's on. We only had one major leak, so that was pretty good for the winter. It was a pretty cold winter, and thank goodness that we got most of it cleared. Thanks. Career building down here is bathrooms are on. We got them on, so that's coming along. We're starting demolition tomorrow inside the old high school office area there, starting removing the ceiling. My guys are removing the ceiling and all the grid and lights and everything there. We're doing that. We'll start that tomorrow. And we got a lot of the mowing. Actually, Ed started mowing already over there at the softball field. He already mowed that, rolled it and mowed it. So mowed, and so we'll be working on the rest of that grounds as soon as we can get on. They're pretty wet still, as you know, everybody knows, but oh yeah, a lot of that going on right now. So a lot outside of it.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions for anyone? Oh, wait a minute. What we got on here? Kristen, I see Kristen. Do you have anything for us?
Yes, I do. Hello, everybody. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to Kim McClarney and Brianna Zarat for the wonderful job they did coordinating Smile Day at Highmark Stadium. It was a phenomenal day with the students. The students were amazing warriors and really represented Salamanca. So proud of them, and they had such a great time. If you have a chance and you're in Seneca and can talk to the students, please go and see them and ask them how their day was. We also want to shout out to all the families that have completed their UPK and kindergarten registration packets for next year. Aaron Round, our central registrar, went over to SALC and to River Street and helped the families there. We currently have 30 packets complete, and our UPK lottery will be on April 23rd. So please, if you're hearing this, please make sure to get your applications in for UPK. We're continuing on with our data for the year, and our attendance meetings at each of the buildings are going strong. Thank you to the principals and to the teams of teachers that have been meeting with Mr. Brundage and the families to try and help support the students get back on track and finish off the school year strong.
Thank you. Michael, do you have anything for us? Oh, he's not paying attention.
Or you didn't think of Utah. Yeah.
All right, we'll come back to him. Think of something to say for us. All right, well, let's move on then. Board of Education message, and we'll start with Dale tonight.
All right, very good. Mine would be nice and short and sweet, so I just can't believe it's fourth quarter already.
Yeah.
You know, with the school year going. I just wanna, let everybody know that, those that are going away for a break, please drive safely, get there, have fun, and please be safe at your destination. That's all I have. Thank you.
Bradley?
I want to give a shout out to everyone involved with the production of Mamma Mia. Was it a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Took the family down. That's very enjoyable. And just hope everyone has an enjoyable and relaxing break.
All right, thank you. Tracy?
I want to give a shout out to all of the students and everybody about Mamma Mia. I had planned on making it, but didn't quite make it, but I will next year. The Odyssey of Mind competition, I believe we come in 10th. So congratulations to all those guys, and looking forward to spring break myself, even though I'm not in school.
Right?
So I want everybody to enjoy their break and be safe, that students and staff as well.
Very good.
All right, yeah, no, that's some good stuff. It's hard to follow everybody. I tell you what, it was a really rewarding day and a great afternoon. I was able to with my colleagues here, fellow board members, to attend at the presentation or the meeting with the strategic planning. I thought that was really great and beneficial. Being, I think, one of my first times really diving in and doing one of those since being on the board that I can recall anyway. It was just really a great conversation. And, and then even just conversating with some of my colleagues today at work. We had a visit here, I think a week or two ago, with our Indigenous Youth Council there, Native American Youth Council, and we all just couldn't be more proud of this district and the school and the facilities, and even just today, them talking about this district and this school, our schools, competing and being nicer and better than some private schools in their eyes. That's what they were saying. So all the hard work that everybody's doing, all of you guys, it's really paying off. And people are noticing. I know it could be hard at times. It's not an easy job that each one of you guys do. But everyone sees it, and I want to thank you guys very much. On a personal level, I have a third grader who's really taken great strides lately with the reading and everything over there. What he's doing. So with the extra work that we're putting in and all the programming and extra work that everyone's doing at Prospect, and that's really been a huge help for us and for my family. And we're having my first daughter here in a few more weeks. So everyone will be enjoying spring break. I'll just be adding a new addition to my family. So another one for Kim over there in a few years here. So,
Lady warrior.
yeah, yep, exactly. I'm very excited about that. I got a lot of talking to Carrie to do. Pick his brain on a lot of different things, but no, it's all good stuff, man. And I'm just proud to be a warrior. And this has been a great day, and thank you all very much.
I don't know anything about Reason Grill, so. All right, as always, thank you all to all of our staff, everybody, you know, we don't make the wheels go around without you guys. Appreciate everything you do every single day, all the time you put in and the dedication and commitment to the kids of our community, all of our kids. So thank you guys, I mean it. Fourth quarter, here we are, let's buckle down, let's finish the year strong. We've heard a lot tonight from, you know, a lot of people in the room, a lot of different subjects. It's all good stuff. And everything that we're doing is to make this a better place, a better school for all the kids. So again, I can't thank you guys enough for everything you do. All of you here, all my colleagues, everything that we're doing. Sometimes it's a thankless job, but we're still here doing it. So appreciate it. Spring sports in full swing. Everyone's excited about that. We're just hoping for better weather. Hopefully we come back from the break and all the snowbirds will bring back some sun for us and some warmth. Spring sports is pretty important to a lot of people, especially our seniors. A lot of the seniors, what it means for them is that's their last season of high school sports. So there's extra meaning when it comes to the spring sports here in the school district. And I think a lot of people don't think about that until it's actually there. But trust me, it means a lot to all of them. So even the support that you give to our student athletes, that's appreciated. Brad hit it first, Mamma Mia, it was an awesome show, I made it over there. I like going to those shows, the kids work so hard, they do such a great job. And honestly, it's like, I couldn't be prouder of everybody who's there. You know, it was a great production, I look forward to them every single year. You know, I love seeing the little kids when they do the production, but I also love seeing the high school kids when they do theirs, it's good stuff. If you haven't made it to any of them, you better get there next fall because you miss out on a really good show. OMers, congratulations, you know, good luck to them moving on. And I think that's it for me. Off to Dr. Beeler.
Well, I think everything, well, not everything, but an awful lot of what I was going to say was, has been shared. I stopped over, to see Ms. McClure today to congratulate her on moving to Worlds. So that'll be exciting. They'll be competing. I think they got about 3 weeks before they go to East Lansing, Michigan to compete in Worlds. So that's a terrific accomplishment for them. I also wanted to thank the high school student government for assisting or really sort of organizing the birthday celebration. And it was really sort of a learning opportunity at Seneca. I've been working with them periodically and the Lorax, they asked me to be the Lorax. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes, so that was me. Apparently I was difficult to recognize and I wanted to draw attention to one of our educators at the high school. And this is what makes our educators special and very good at what they do. I was walking in my Lorax outfit from the district office over toward Seneca, and the halls were clear except for a particular teacher. And she was walking down the hall and we passed each other, and then she turned around and started talking to me. And she said, "Hey, listen, do you have a moment? I have a student who would love to meet you." And I said, "Sure." So we're walking and she said, "You know, my name's Heather Donor and I work with students that have special needs in one of our classrooms, and I have a student," and I'm like, "Heather, it's Mark Beeler. It's me." And she was like, "Oh my goodness." And she wanted me to go down, which I did, and I sat and talked with one of her students, but there aren't many places where a teacher will go out of the way to make a special moment for a student that she works with. And I just wanted to acknowledge that because those are things that go out of their way. She's probably on her way, you know, she might have a couple moments between periods or whatnot. And she gave that up to come back and make things a little bit better for another student on that particular day. So we got a picture taken together and it was sent to his mom. And those are the little moments here that really make Salamanca a special place. And it's because of the special teachers that we have here. So I just wanted to acknowledge her and say thanks to the student council for putting that on, and to teachers like Heather Donor who really make the students' lives a little bit better each day by the little things they do.
Thank you.
Awesome.
That's it.
Oh, that was it?
That was it,
Oh,
believe it or not, yeah.
I was buckled in for.
No,
about 10
no,
minutes.
that was just quick.
All right. Well, thank you for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks
That's
for
why
doing
we're
that.
here.
That's awesome.
Anybody else have anything? We good? Good. Okay. All right, so we are gonna move on now to item number 6, the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda? Motion by Christian,
Second.
second by Tracy. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, any abstain? Motion carried. All right, item number 7, we have no old business. Item number 8, new business. We have item A, declare surplus. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the following obsolete and broken items be declared surplus and be disposed of accordingly be approved. Item number 1 is a VCR. Item number 2 is a whiteboard. Item number 3 is a oven. Item number 4 is a TV. Yeah. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Motion by Dale, second by Brad. Any questions? I have one actually.
Sure.
When does a VCR become a museum item?
Yeah, we're getting there. Right, exactly. But we still have a few around just in case we, want to watch those driver ed videos that we watched 40 years ago. But yeah, we're getting close.
So we had a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? All right, motion carries. All right, item B, we declare surplus for vehicles. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the following vehicles be declared surplus and advertised at public sale to the highest bidder meeting specifications and be sold as is. Item number 1, we have a van. Number 2 is a van. Number 3 is a car. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Christian,
Second.
second by Tracy. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? All right, motion carried. Okay, item C is Consolidated Service Unit CSU Agreement. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the final 2 pages of the 2022 through 2026 Consolidated Service Unit Collective Bargaining Agreement inadvertently omitted from the version presented and approved by the Board of Education on August 17th, 2022, as negotiated in 2022, approved with a retroactive effective date of July 1, 2022, formally be recognized, approved, and be included as the final 2 pages and be part of the CSU 2022 through 2026 Collective Bargaining Agreement, retroactive to July 1st, 2022, be approved. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tracy, second by Dale. Are there any questions? Mark, give us a quick rundown.
Sure. So our Human Resources Department over the past year or 2 has really done a very good job of sort of finding things and cleaning up things. Their job is exceptionally meticulous with all sorts of processes, procedures, and things that need to be followed, approved. And as they were doing some of their audits and reviews, it was identified that what was approved by the board, the contract, last 2 pages were actually omitted. Everything was put in place. There was no mystery or nothing, being sort of slid through the process. So everything on those pages was put in place. It was what was agreed upon, but when we had pulled it off of the agenda for one reason or another, we recognized that there were two different versions, and somehow what was attached to the agenda was missing the last 2 pages. So this just goes back and corrects that error. There's been a few things that have popped up, and there'll be a few more items on the board agenda just to clean things up and make sure everything is, all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted.
Thank you. All right, we had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstains? Motion carried.
Could I just jump in for one quick second?
Absolutely.
While she's here, I just want to acknowledge Josie from Human Resources, who is the one who picks up a lot of these items. Some of them go back years and years and years, and we're working through how to fix some of those things that'll be coming up. But she is very particular about paperwork and how things get done. It is very much a credit and an asset to the district, although there are times I think she drives me nuts over a lot of the things that we have to do, but we're doing it the right way and we should be proud of that.
Good job.
We approved that, right, Janet?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Good. Okay. All right, so now, item D, award contract, capital project phase 3.5. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, based on the bids received and recorded on April 2nd, 2025, Turner Construction Company and Labella Associates have completed the scope review with the apparent low bidder. The bid is in accordance with the contract documents. It is therefore recommended to accept the bid and award the contract to the following lowest responsive and responsible bidder. Bid pack 01 Huber Construction General Trades for $390,000. Motion by Christian. Second by Brad. Are there any questions? Mark, give us a quick rundown.
Sure. Actually, we're kind of excited about this. So 3.5 is a result of coming in under budget for phase 3. What the funds allow us to do is within the scope of the original phase 3 project to make improvements to the previous high school offices, which are over here, as well as what used to be essentially the faculty room, I guess, or a kitchen area. That is going to get turned into a nurse's suite. So the nurse for the high school will come down to a more centralized location to the high school itself, and then the current or the previous high school office will turn into classroom space. So we can have some special classrooms in there. So once again, because the project came in under cost, this is a feature or a project that we can add on, and this will consume the remaining funds from project number 3.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstained? All right, motion carried. Item E, accept bids, food truck, mobile learning lab. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, based on the bids received and recorded on March 28, 2025, the Board of Education accepts the bid and award the contract to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder from JP Food Trucks in the amount of $182,692 for a food truck mobile learning lab, and the superintendent be authorized to sign any required documents be approved. Can I get a motion? Motion by Dale,
Second.
second by Tracy. Any questions? Yeah.
Certainly. This is really Karen Magara's project, and I'm happy to talk about it, but I don't want to take it away from her. I'm not so sure she can actually talk through what she's on right now. Karen, do you want to talk about it? I'll take that as a go ahead for me. All right, exciting. So the district received a grant to purchase a mobile learning lab in the form of a food truck. So we're very excited about that. There's a relatively long lead time on this. I think it's about 30 weeks. So it's not like we're going to see this thing rolling up here in a day or two. But there's going to be some work with some of our student leaders here, our food service department. And within short order, we will have a food truck and a learning lab essentially for our students. So that can go anywhere in the community or even outside the community. So we know we have an outstanding food service department, and now we can literally take it on the road.
That's awesome. They're doing a great job. That's why I wanted to highlight that, John and Karen, everybody and the whole staff are doing such a great job, and everything they're doing.
Awesome. All right, we had, any other questions? Anything? No? All right, we had a first, we had a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? All right, motion carried. Okay, we are on to item F. Estate of Donald Verche to Salamanca City Central School District, 4187 Killbuck Road, Gray Valley, New York. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education acknowledges the non-refundable earnest money deposit of $20,000 to be paid by the Salamanca City Central School District to the estate of Donald Verche, 4187 Killbuck Road, Gray Valley, New York, and other matters of business as outlined in a letter dated February 2nd, 2025 from Schaus and Schaus LLP, attorneys at law, 380 Cleveland Drive, Buffalo, New York, and authorizes the superintendent to execute any required document to be approved. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Tracy,
Second.
second by Dale. Are there any questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, motion carries. And we are on to item G, budget transfers. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby approves the attached budget transfers to allocate funding to various accounts be approved. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Moved by Christian,
Second.
second by Brad. Any questions? I would, but Karen's not on, so.
I get,
Yeah, Mark?
yeah, sure. It's, that time of the year where we're closing out the 24-25 budget. So essentially, all non-essential, spending has been, has ended, for that fiscal year. And what we're seeing here is now some of the cleanup. So it's not that we're going over budget, but we're moving items from one budget line to another to cover expenses or to perhaps collapse some budgets so that we can expend those funds in other areas. If we are under our budget, then we can make purchases for next year, and reduce the budget for next year.
All right, awesome. Any other questions? Nothing? Okay, we had a motion in a second, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, any abstain? All right, motion carried. So now we are on to item number 9, personnel consent agenda. Item A, we have a long list here for personnel action. And then item B is our personnel consent agenda approval. We resolve that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education approve the personnel action items listed in the public content of section 9, item A. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tracy, second by, was it you? Yeah. Second by Dale. Any questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, any abstain? Okay, motion carries. Do we have any introductions of newly appointed staff?
I don't believe we do. I just wanted to thank, Ms. Oakes, Mr. Rattay, Ms. Butler, Mr. Long, and Mr. Bartozik, for the work that they will be doing over the summer. As I think some of them spoke about during their time during the roundtable, or the summer planning is well underway. And the first phase of that is to get our coordinators established for summer schools and summer programs. So what you see are the first appointments, and then subsequent to that, you'll start to see more people be appointed or recommended for appointment so that we can have our summer program.
Item 10, board information reports discussion. We have our enrollment numbers. We have our annual BOCES budget brochure, our BOCES board member election, capital project phase 4 summary, and then upcoming events, which are, we got spring break next week, voter registration day on the 22nd, our next BOE meeting on the 22nd. What is this? Cattaraugus School Boards, yep. That's a dinner on the 24th, BOE meeting on May 13th, and the big one is our budget vote on May 20th. Also including the capital improvement project 2025 and purchase of real property too. That's the big one to be at. May 23rd, 26th, no school, and then May 27th, another BOE meeting. So with that, we are item 11, adjourn the meeting. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Oh, motion by Dale, second by Brad. Any questions, discussion? Anything? Nothing?
No, actually, real quick, I wanted to say that, I appreciate the administration and superintendent and everybody. I know I've been reaching out a lot with, just different, requests, questions, whatever it is, from the community members or myself. I appreciate you guys' timely responses to me and those inquiries and, getting things addressed right away. So thank you very much. That was all I wanted
We
to
appreciate
say.
the input, feedback. Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, so we had a motion in the second. Oh, wait, are there any other questions? Anything? Discussion?
No.
All right, all in favor to adjourn the meeting?
I,
Aye. Any opposed, any abstained? Okay, motion carried. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming on down.
Students, if you need anything signed, anyone at the table can sign it for you.
You got, you got, you got.